Oh, Drake, I'm a big fan of your music, man.
Oh,
You're a
thank
great
you.
you're a great singer, bro. Great rapper. You know, you do a lot for the culture. I'm very impressed with your skills, brother.
Oh, well, I try. I do my best.
Yeah, and I know you got that little scandal that's out there now, and everybody saw you like, playing whack-a-mole with yourself,
you
and
know, sometimes people they leak these things. What can you do?
uh,
I'm just trying to show off a little bit.
I guess when you hung like that, you you kind of want to get leaked.
It is what it is. All right. Well, Rampage man, appreciate you taking the time. Good morning to you, sir. Happy Wednesday. I mean, just how are things right now today? Just life in general, man. Got a lot going on.
Man, I got a lot going on, but I'm loving it. I'm here for it. I like to stay busy. Life is good right now. I'm very happy, and I'll tell you what, things been turning around since I met the guys out of Qatar. They those guys are so positive, and it's just been like an avalanche of positivity coming my way since I signed that contract with them. I've been doing this podcast at Jackson for a while, and that's been pretty fun. But I noticed a shift in my vibration
Mm-hmm.
once I signed that contract to finally fight Shannon Briggs. I'm telling you, that's the truth.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, happy to hear it. And in terms of the positivity, I mean, is this kind of something new for you? I mean, obviously you fought with all the big promotions in the world in MMA, but doing the boxing stuff here, like, is this kind of a new type of positivity? How do you compare it? I guess.
Well, it's totally new for me. I've been involved in pretty much all the biggest promotions in MMA, but I never fought before. But I'm gonna say so far, dealing with this team out of Qatar has been the greatest experience. Because I don't know if a lot of fight fans or whatever know that your first fight is with the promoter. But this time dealing with these guys, we're not fighting at all. They said, "Look, we on the same team." As soon as they said that, I was like, "Okay, I see what's up." These guys, they already winning me over. Normally, when you talk to a promoter and stuff yourself, I normally don't like talking to them. I let
Mm-hmm.
my manager talk to them because the first thing they want to do is devalue you. They be like, "Oh well, you need to do better at this, and you suck at this, and you lost your last fight," and they always tell you stuff like that. And these guys, they never said any of the things that I was kind of like waiting to hear. And I was like, "Oh well, I'm really impressed with these guys. I'm really looking forward to doing business with them." And I can see, saying me wanting to, continue doing business with them in the future.
Right on, man. Yeah, it sounds like a kind of an instant appreciation and more of maybe teamwork than anything like you said, how not being devalued. So more of a collaborative effort. Is that fair?
Yeah, yeah, I feel like that's fair to say. Um, I'm really impressed with the knowledge that these guys bring to the table, and I didn't get the whole picture. It seems like this their first time putting on a fight. I can tell they're big fight fans, and I kind of tell like one of them kind of wants me to win, and the other one kind of wants Shannon to win. I can understand that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Two different guys. My boy SDK, he's a man. He's rooting for me, but I see like my boy Osama over there. I think he's going for Shannon Briggs a little bit too much. So I'm about to disappoint one of them. You know what I'm saying? I can't make both of them happy. One of
Yeah.
them gonna be
Can't
disappointed
please
with me.
everybody.
Can't please everybody. Somebody gonna be sad in June. Somebody gonna be sad, but it's not gonna be me. I'm gonna be very, 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 very happy.
Exactly, man. Can't wait to see it. And you mentioned the podcast, Rampage. I got to congratulate you on all the success having with that one, man. It's been awesome. I've been watching plenty of them, and I just wanted to ask you, like, has it been weird catching up with a lot of these like old friends and opponents and all these types of guys on the show?
Man, it's been very weird. The podcast is growing really fast, and I didn't think that I'd be sitting across from some of the guys that I fought before in the past and stuff, and spilling the beans. Talking. We had one guest on the show cry. He
Mm.
got so emotional he cried. I was like, wow, he's like one of my friends. I've trained with him before, and the guy's so passionate about fighting, and you sit down in the podcast, and we just make him feel comfortable, and they just feel comfortable telling it all. And man, it's a beautiful thing for the fans to see a different side of them, and I guess see a different side of me as well. And so I'm very impressed with what my co-host Barrett DeGidio is doing with the podcast. We actually um interviewed our first NBA legend, Jerry West,
Hmm.
NBA logo yesterday, and that was a great session as well. A great episode. I was really impressed with his knowledge of fighting and boxing. I almost asked him, did he want to go to Qatar to come watch me fight?
Yeah, a little adventure there for him too. Bring him along. Has there been a favorite guest or anything like that? I mean, when you say the other guys, for me, I've noticed it's kind of fun to get outside the MMA bubble sometimes, maybe a little more because, we get so used to talking about the sport that we're involved in, right?
Yeah, yeah. My favorite guest so far was Riddick Bowe, hands down. You remember Riddick Bowe, the boxer?
I didn't catch that one, unfortunately.
You didn't know, you don't know. I'm saying, but do you remember who Riddick Bowe is?
Not a big boxing guy.
Okay, good. I like it even more. But Riddick Bowe was one of the most dominant heavyweight boxers. He only lost to Holyfield,
Hmm.
and he's an old school boxer. He's 50. I think he's 55, so he's like 10 years older than me. And he was so funny. I had no idea. This is my first time meeting him and stuff like that. And I knew who he was, but he surprised me at how funny he is. You know.
Yeah, right on, man. I'll definitely have to go back and check that one out now after the recommendation.
Yeah.
Any dream guests? I'm sure you got some guys you want to get on there.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys that I would like to get on the show. I would like for I would like for to get Jackie Chan on there.
Okay, that'd be
Some
fun.
guys I'm big fans of, like Jason Statham, all those guys. I like we want to do everybody. We start off as a MMA, boxing podcast, but it's slowly evolving into just sitting down to people who appreciate
Right.
martial arts and mixed martial arts and boxing and all all the above.
Yeah, man. And it is UFC 298 fight week. Have you done any patching up with Ian Gary since he kind of got mad at you for all that nonsense, or what's kind of the
No,
update there?
fuck Ian Gary. Fuck him. He didn't come to the podcast. Anybody that knows me, they know I like to joke around and play. I know I got a bit personal, but I was throwing him out of you. If he get paid pay-per-view, he should have thanked me for bringing up his damn name. I did not even know who Ian Gary was until Sean Strickland brought him up, and here he come acting like a damn asshole. So we did. We brought out with Jeff Neal, his opponent.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw
And
that.
it turned out to be even better podcast. So fuck Ian Gary. He can kiss my black ass.
All right, there we have it. I had to get some clarity on that one. But all right, as for your fight though, Rampage, of course, Shannon Briggs going to be a fun one there. I'm curious. You said this has been going on for 2 years, and I've been following along the best I can, man. But like, how did the whole thing start with him and getting to this point of fighting him now? Like, what's kind of the origin of the beef for wanting to fight?
You know what? I think I misspoke when I said 2 years. It might have been going on longer than that since
Mm-hmm.
COVID. So my last fight wasn't my best showing at all. At all. Matter of fact, it was my worst showing. Because of my health problems. But I just didn't want to pull out of Japan because this is the type of person I am. No matter what happens to me, what I'm saying, it's very rare that I pull out of a
Yeah.
fight. And so even in this camp, I don't care what happened, man. I don't care if it's like Tyson Fury. I get a big cut on my face. I'm going to super glue it up, and I'm still going to go and fight because I'm a warrior. And Shannon saw me at my worst, and he called me out. He called me while I was in Japan and said, "Hey, I want to fight you." I'm like, "Why you calling me out of all people? I'm not a boxer." He said, "I think I can take you." And then he started talking shit about me and posting about me on his Instagram. And I'm like, if this ain't a disrespectful motherfucker. And so I don't back away from no challenge. I know I never boxed before, but I'm a box the shit out of his ugly ass. I'm a kick his ass. He talked too much shit. You know, it's funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's funny, and I like laughing. I like joking around. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? At least it's not going to be like boring promos and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And over the years, I've gotten a little bit more used to him, and he makes me laugh and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be the last one laughing in June, so I'm like, yeah, come on, bring all you got.
Yeah, it's a lot of entertainment value for you, kind of going into it. So, like, how much is the dislike actually they're like, would you say he's your most disliked opponent? I mean, you've got
No,
some,
no,
yeah.
no, no, no. I'm not even going to cap. I'm not even going to say that. I actually do like Shannon.
Mm,
No, I actually like him a lot. Like I said, I like his personality. I think we are a lot alike in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, sometimes he goes a little bit too far. You know, he don't know when to pull it back. Like me, I know when to pull it back a little bit. You know, because some stuff that I could really say to hurt his feelings.
mm,
Because he was like saying I was fat and overweight. But he was hiding his weight, and he was only posting pictures of him being all ripped with abs and shit.
yeah.
And then I saw him like, man, you fatter than me. The fuck? He putting my face on fat women with big belly rolls and stuff like that. I was like, man, that's kind of messed up.
He's quite the troll. I mean, I'll never forget the Klitschko the boating thing when he was following
Oh
on the
yeah,
paddle. Classic video there. I mean, was that too far, Rampage? That's like stalking.
yeah. That's like stalking. He went into the while the guy was eating
Yeah,
and ate his food at the restaurant. See, that's the thing. See, Shannon know not to do that with me.
right.
Now, I don't play that. You know, when I'm eating, I'm a germ freak. You stick your fingers in my food. We fighting right there and there. I don't care. Now Shannon, no. Like he can come in with the internet stuff. If it's what type of person I am, if it's funny, even if it's about me, if
Mm,
it's funny, I'll laugh. You know, if
yeah,
it's funny, I have to give him props. But if you do something out of bad taste, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to make him taste my fist.
right, right. Yeah, that was
Have you ever tasted somebody's fist before?
not trying to.
Yeah. My fist, I make sure my fist tastes nasty. My fist gonna taste so nasty. Shannon Briggs is gonna be trying to remove the taste of my fist out of his mouth for a century.
There we go. There we go. No, no Rampage fist taste. Nobody needs that.
Drake, you want to taste? You want to taste the fist?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I believe it. It's
All right,
nasty.
all right, all right. All right, we're gonna give you a little taste test.
I got it, man. What are your thoughts on him though as a boxer at this stage? Because it's kind of there's been a lot of time since he last fought. What 2016, right? So there's a gap. People can say ring rust. I don't know if you're a believer in that yourself,
Yeah,
Rampage, but like, is it? Can you even expect that version of him because of that gap in time?
exactly. That's why you think I took the fight? Because I've never boxed before, so clearly he would have the advantage. But I
Right.
think it's in even playing field. I haven't fought in 4 years, but that's not as big of a gap as
Right.
him. So I think it's a even playing field. What I predict for this fight, I predict that um, I got nothing to lose. You know, all the pressure's going to be on him, and I like to put on exciting fights, and I really want to press the team out in Qatar and the fans out of Qatar, and so I want them to see who Rampage really is. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to leave it all in the ring, put on the show. So I'm glad that he hasn't fought in so long because then it'll be kind of lopsided. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's why I'm evening it out. He's a little bit older than me, and he hadn't fought in a long time, so that gives me the motivation and the confidence to say, yeah, I can actually win this. This is something that I can win. So if I was fighting somebody like a Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua in my first fight away, then I'd be a little bit more nervous than
Mhm.
I am right now.
Yeah, and I think it helps though that you did have that fight circus match to help you prepare for this.
You got a point there. You got a point. That two headed boxing boy, that was fun. You know, I would like to do some of that, pull some of that stuff off, bring some of that stuff to Qatar. Maybe after I beat the crap out of Shannon, maybe we could team up and be friends and do some stuff together. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go. I mean, maybe this time you could face Bob and somebody else. I don't know. What would you
Well, I
think?
don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you trying to put me against my brother? Boy, that's my
I mean,
brother,
hey, I
man.
don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point though. Yeah, maybe I could go against Bob, but
The
it's
Diaz
my
brothers
brother.
is something fun that way.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. We'll go against the Diaz brothers. I'm real cool with them. That'd be cool.
Of course, man. Yeah, Fight Circus is always a fun time. So I'm sure that was a
Yeah.
good trip, man. But I know you mentioned Vanderlei is like an opponent after this or something, Rampage. Like, do you have an idea of how many boxing matches you want to do? Or are you just kind of going to go step by step a little bit, start with this one from here on
Uh,
out?
all right, so let me break it down for you. This was the plan even before Qatar came in. I was supposed to do my last MMA fight against Titties from
Yep.
Ultimate Fighter.
Daryl
So
Schoonover, yeah.
yeah, so he's waiting. So the UFL, is a league that I'm involved in here in the States, and so I'm gonna help promote them by getting an MMA fight out the way, and then I'm gonna talk to the great guys over here in Qatar and see if I can call out Rashard Evans
Mm.
and then Wanderlei Silva. Me and Wanderlei got some unfinished business because we 2-2, and Rashard Evans, he you know, I owe him an ass whooping because he beat me right after I did the 18 movie. Now I don't know if I want to beat up Rashard in an MMA fight or a boxing
Mm.
match because I was leaning towards boxing because of my knee, but my sponsor in Colombia, BioAccelerator, they do stem cells. They told me before this fight with Shannon to come over, so I'm leaving soon to go there and get some stem cells that that help me with my knee and all my other little niggles, little injuries. But they were saying like, yeah, you come do that, then you come again after your fight, then your knee should be good. And so maybe I could fight Rashard Evans in an MMA fight. So titties might not be my last fight. And I might fight Rashard in MMA or boxing. Or we can do something, or we can make up our own thing. Maybe we could do 1 round MMA and 1 round boxing.
Mm.
It's like anything's on the table. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited what the future holds. But I want to take out those two first, and then I want to take out anybody else that beat me. I want to take out Glover Chichara. I want to take out Shogun. I want to take out anybody else that beat me in the past. I want them all. I want grudge matches because what I'm saying, since I got my health back together and I'm doing stem cells with BioAccelerator, I feel like a new man.
Mm.
I feel like a new man. Look at these guns. Look at this.
Oh.
Look at that. I'm a new man. I'm ready to take on the world, brother. I can take on the world.
Rampage 2.0. There we are.
That's right, baby. That's right.
So, do you think that the MMA fights that you're talking about, you're only going to compete for UFL for the rest of your career, or what's?
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no,
just
no, no,
asking, just asking.
no. I didn't say that, but what I said was I owed UFL the titties fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now maybe I could do that titties fight in the UFL in Qatar. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
No, who knows? But I'm a man of my word. I keep my word. I believe in I believe a man is, what I'm saying, he's bound by his word. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? People can't take you for your word, then you're not worth nothing as a man because you can just say anything. So uh, no matter what, that's going to be my next fight after this boxing match, and then I'm gonna talk to SDK and Qatar, and we're gonna figure out a plan. That guy's a genius. I don't know how much you guys know about him. That guy's a genius, and he really knows what he's doing. And I really like his vision and the stuff that I really like the vision and the stuff that he has going. And we're talking about doing something really special. We're talking about doing something really special for the MMA fans. So, what I'm saying, I think the sky's the limit, and then you got the stars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very exciting time, Rampage, and obviously you have connections too to Saki Gabara having fought in Pride, and then your last MMA fight was in Japan with the Bellator RIZIN collaboration. I mean, would you ever be open to going back to Japan to fight in RIZIN? With Saki Gabara again to do something there?
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, and I think this is the reason why those guys really don't really they really don't deal with me that much. I love fighting in Japan, but I wouldn't be excited about going and fighting on that promotion because, like, since I've been doing this podcast and all these memories and stuff and talking about stuff coming up, I'm gonna be honest, like those guys never took care of me. Like
Mm.
I was like a really big star for them, and the other fighters that I was on the same level, they was getting paid 2 and 3 times more than me. So I don't think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff came back up.
Right.
I kind of let it go. I kind of let it go over the years. I felt like MMA hasn't given me my fair share. I don't want to sit here and be like, "Woe is me," but I'm just going to be honest. You ask me a question,
Yeah.
I could either answer it truthfully or give you a boring comment and be like, "No comment," and boring interview. So I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell the truth. Those guys, they didn't treat me well. I was vastly underpaid, and my job was to always be exciting and put
Mm-hmm.
butts in seats. And I think that fighters like me should be, what I'm saying, paid for that, paid well or respected. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I didn't get enough respect, and they underpaid me, which was very disrespectful. So no, I wouldn't be no, I wouldn't be interested in going back fighting under those promotions, but I would be willing to go and fight in Japan.
Hmm.
Now, I got offered a pro wrestling match in Japan, but I don't know if I'm going to take it because I got other things that I really want to do, and I really respect pro wrestling. I wanted to be a pro wrestler growing up, and it was a pretty tough decision, but I think I'm going to turn it down.
Hmm.
And so, because I just love the Japanese fans, and I want to go over there and have a bunch of babies. So, any reason to send me back to Japan,
Yeah.
I want to have a whole bunch of Rampage babies in Japan.
There we go. Yeah, spread the love a little
Oh
bit.
yeah, spread the love. Because every time I go over there, I can visit my baby. Take him out. Take him to,
Yeah,
you know, you know, see, go take him around sightseeing, and baby learn Japanese. Baby teach me Japanese. I teach
exactly.
the baby. It's be cool.
Works out perfectly. But yeah, Rampage. Like I remember you meant when you had Dan Henderson on the podcast, and he was kind of talking about what his situation in Pride, where he probably would have stayed if they didn't get bought. That's what it sounded like he was saying, right? Because just I'm thinking of the contrast where you said, maybe didn't take care of you and some of the other guys. Like that's a great example of it, right?
Yeah, I'd never heard of any other fighter saying that Pride didn't take care of him.
Hmm.
So evidently, I was the only one that didn't get taken care of. One time, this is when I found out I wasn't getting taken care of. We wasn't allowed to talk about our purse per contract.
Mm.
And I was hanging out with Heath Herring one day. Him and I used to be great friends. I don't even know what happened to their friendship. Actually, I do know what happened to their friendship. That's another story. And he was asking me, he said, "Hey man, how much you getting paid?" I was like, "Man, we can't talk about that." He said, "I ain't gonna say nothing." I said, "Man, how am I supposed to tell you?" He said, "Come on, man, we boys. I'm not gonna say anything that I know how much you're getting paid." And so I told him. I said $35,000 a fight, and he was like,
Whoa.
"Whoa!" He was like, "Whoa, boy!" He said, "You getting fucked? You getting fucked over?" I was like, "Well, how much are you getting paid?" He's like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you."
Yeah. Of course.
So he never told me. So I found out that while I was getting paid $35,000 a fight, other guys were getting paid 200 and 200,000, two hundred fifty
Hmm.
thousand dollars a fight. And some of those guys, I was just as big a star of
Right.
them. And another thing they was doing, I used to have these figurines, and they only gave me one figurine. This is how stupid they are. They only gave me one figurine, and my family wanted some of the figurines, but they used to give you a percentage of what your figurine made, right? And
Hmm.
so I had the number one selling figurine, but they told me like, "Oh, you don't sell that many figurines," and then so they gave me like a little bit of money, right? They said, "Oh, you don't sell that many, you're not that popular," and I said, "Well, how come every time I go to the store to buy one, they sold out?" I was like,
Right.
I said, if you were smart, you would keep me. You every time I come to Japan, you would give me a few. I'm sorry, I take them back to give it to my family, so I wouldn't go to the store and try to buy them fucking things. They always was sold out. I went to like 4 different stores to buy, and they all sold out. And that's how stupid they are. They thought I was stupid. I'm like, I know I'm selling. I know I'm selling. And I talked to one of my Japanese fans. Oh, they said, "No, man, your figurine is the number one selling
Hmm.
figurines. Like it's hard. It's the hardest one to get in Japan. Everybody wants it."
Damn.
Because I was the only one that had like the chain,
Yeah.
and I had like the yellow card and stuff. But this is what they did to me. So you asked me, would I be excited about? I wouldn't fight for that promotion. And I'm not saying it wasn't Sakakibara that was
Hmm.
doing it. It was the handlers that he hired that worked under him, who I had to deal with. Yukino and Hideki, they never liked me. So I say this right now, Yukino and Hideki, if you see this interview, y'all can kiss my black ass too.
Well, to be fair, I don't think that he is working with RIZIN anymore or with Sakibara, so there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know he's not. I know he's not because I haven't seen these people in a long time.
Hmm.
But they know I'm telling the truth. And then, so after that, Rising and I, I mean, Pride, were dream stage. You know what I'm saying? We never had like a good relationship, but they got kind of mad at me. They said, "Well, how come you don't say good things about us in interviews?" I said, "Give me something good to say."
Right. Yeah.
You notice, the new guys that I'm dealing with from Qatar, I have nothing but good things to say about
Hmm.
them. They're good guys. You know what I'm saying? Like Dana White, I have some good things to say about Dana White. and I have some bad things to say about Dana White. Like Scott Coker of Bellator, I have nothing but good things to say about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. Terry Trevorcock from King of the Cage, I have nothing but good things to say about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just keep it real.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And kind of reminiscing now on those times, Rampage. I got to ask you, and this might be an easy question, but like greatest career accomplishment or like favorite victory, is there kind of something that stands out to you when you look at the career up until this point, right? Because there's still more you're gonna do, but
Yeah.
so far, what stands out is like the one you're most proud of.
The fight I'm most proud of is when I finally beat Wanderlei Silva in the UFC when I first knocked him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because he gave me two of the worst ass whoopings I ever taken in my life at that point, and I always knew that I could beat him. I just had like the wrong sparring partners and stuff. And, that fight meant a lot for me because it came at a very difficult time in my life. I was going through some things. I had just fired my boxing coach and my manager. He was like a father figure to me and stuff, and so it was really hard transitioning and stuff like that. So I had to overcome a lot of stuff mentally, and it was very demanding training camp, very emotional. So that's my favorite victory, and my I think my biggest accomplishment in the sport is when I fought Dan Henderson in the UFC and we unified the belts, and
Yeah.
I was the first ever unified champion. Even though UFC didn't acknowledge me as the first ever unified champion, they gave that acknowledgement to Anderson Silva, and he did it after I did it. I don't understand why they wouldn't. I don't know why they did that, but to me, like I never fought for glory or for fame. I fought for a living and because I love it. So, but for me personally, to know that I made history personally, even though that it's probably never be written in the history books, it would be written that Anderson Silva did it. But the true fans and me, I know that I'm the first ever unified champion in the sport of MMA.
Yeah, definitely, man. Those were some great moments, of course, and yeah, it's in the octagon, bringing kind of pride there, and then showing you're the champion worthy and all that kind of fun stuff was great times. And mentioned Vanderlei again. Did you see that he actually responded to you wanting to box him like
Yeah,
yesterday?
I saw that he responded, but I didn't know what the hell he was saying because he said it in Portuguese. I'm
Right.
like, Vanderlei, what's going on? I know you've been punching a little bit too much, man, but I don't speak Portuguese.
I got a
I'm like,
translation if you want to hear it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Do
Okay.
that for me right now.
Let me pull it up. Where are we? All right. Vanderlei said I couldn't wake up to better news. My arch enemy Quinton Jackson will make his boring debut and already said he has the intention to do the fifth fight with Wanderlei Silva. I think that's more than fair because I've knocked him out twice and he beat me twice as well. So we'll have the fifth fight in boxing. Get ready, Quinton. Your time is coming. The challenge is more than accepted. Vanderlei will hang you on the ropes again. Get ready.
What? Did he say he gonna hang me on the ropes again?
Yeah.
I can't believe Vanderlei said that. I might have to talk to Rashad Evans. I might have to push Vanderlei's ass whooping up some. I might have to push his ass whooping up. I might have to push his ass whooping up. I might have to push his ass whooping up. I might have to push his ass whooping up. I'm gonna beat his motherfucking ass for saying some shit like that. Nah. He that was totally disrespectful. When I called him out, I called him out very respectfully. I'm gonna talk to SDK and Osama about getting that fight over in Qatar after I knocked the shit out of Shannon. I'm gonna ask them, can I beat the fuck out of Vanderlei next? After I fulfill my fulfillments with titties. I want fucking Vanderlei. I want Vanderlei. I want Vanderlei in Qatar. I wanna document that whole training camp. I would love to do that training camp in Qatar. I would love to go there, just get my mind right, go to Qatar, train over there, get familiar with the people and stuff like that, and be like Rocky Balboa when he trained in the city, running in the city. And I want all the fans behind me there. And when I knock Vanderlei out, that would be my biggest accomplishment ever. I got rid of the rubber match. I won my arch nemesis. I'm putting him to bed. Then I never, ever, ever want to see him again. Unless it's on the podcast and next to me and I ask him how you feel getting knocked out by your arch enemy, your nemesis.
I'm not
Your
sure.
arch nemesis.
Not sure he'd want to come on after that, but I guess
Well,
we'll see.
we'll make him come. We'll make him come on there. We'll make him come on there. I'll be like, look, now that I knocked you out for the third time, I'm your daddy. You gotta do what the fuck I say, Wanderlei. You gotta do what the fuck I say. You come on this motherfucking podcast and you gonna tell the world how the fuck you feel, and you gonna speak English, and you gonna say it in English. Then you gonna shine my fucking shoes, Wanderlei, for being disrespectful. You're gonna shine my fucking shoes. You're gonna carry my fucking gym bag when I go to the gym. I'm gonna own you.
All right. Well, we've changed the order for sure, Rampage. So bumping him up. Sorry, Rashad, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Rashad got bumped down. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk to the great guys over there in Qatar. I'm gonna talk to Osama and SDK and see if we'll get Rashad Evans like a little warm up fight or something to keep, you know what I'm saying, just to keep him active. He'll be okay. He'll be okay. I'll cover him next after I knocked out Wanderlei.
He can take on Shannon.
Do it the same night. I do it the same night. I do it the same night.
Yes.
Just like an old pride tournament. First. Then Rashad, I don't care. Yeah, he'll take on Shannon. That'd be cool. He'll take on Shannon. Shannon, no, he might be too small for Shannon. Shannon,
Yeah.
Shannon big. Shannon a big dude, man. Shannon a big dude.
Yeah. How tall is he? Much taller than you. A couple
Yeah,
inches.
he's much taller than me. He's probably like 6'5", 6'6". I'm
Mhm.
6'1", so you know what I'm saying. I'm giving up a few inches. Wait. Pause.
Won't be no thing. Take care of it. But all right, Rampage. I don't want to take too much of your time here, man. I appreciate it so much. But I'll leave you with one last thing before I do let you go, because legend of the sport, of course, combat sports in general. I'm sure that you get a lot of questions just from everybody really. But when a new fighter or somebody trying to get into the game comes up to you, I'm curious, like, what you say the best piece of advice that you would give somebody is these days who's wanting to get into fighting.
It's crazy that you mentioned that. I wrote a book during COVID, and it's kind of basically like that. I started writing a book for my son, because my son wanted to be a fighter and stuff like that. I didn't know what was going to happen during COVID. So I didn't know if I just heard about this virus. I didn't know I was going to pass away or anything like that. When it first came out, and so I wrote this book, and pretty soon I'm going to put this book out there. It's like a hand booklet for fighters, because I'll get asked that question a lot. But the first thing I would say to fighters that's thinking about getting into this sport, the first thing I would say to the fighters, like, get you a good group of people around you, get you a good team, get you a good strong firm team, get you a good home gym, and learn about loyalty. You know what I'm saying? So pick your team wisely and stick with them. And you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know a lot about loyalty. And that's the first step you want to do. You want to look around and say, okay, where do I want to join? And you go there and just train. You don't say nothing. You just go there and train and see if you like it, if you mesh well. You know what I'm saying? You find your team. And because being a fighter is all about sacrifice. You got to sacrifice your time with your friends. You got to sacrifice partying, going out, hanging out with the boys. You know what I'm saying? You got to sacrifice a lot of different things. You got to put your head down, and you got to train right, train hard, and train like your life depends upon it. Because this is not a game. You know what I'm saying? This is not a game. You can't play MMA. You can't play boxing. You know what I'm saying? You go play basketball. You go play football. This is a fight. This is a fight game. It's either you and him. So you want to put your head down, stay focused, train hard. Don't focus on the money so much. Focus on your passion and your love, what you want to do, and be yourself. Don't go out there and try to fake a persona. Be yourself, but don't be shy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be shy. Go out there and entertain the fans, even before you get in the cage, even before you get in the ring. And do your road work. Do whatever it takes to be the best, to be the champion, except for drugs. Stay away from performance enhancement drugs. Stay away from any type of recreational drugs, because in the back of your mind, you're gonna know that you need something to be the best.
Right. Yeah, great advice, man. And I'm very excited for the book now. The little tease there. So got all these things. When can we expect it?
I don't know. I tried to get it published, but the people that was looking at the publishing, they said, "Oh, we don't want to publish the book because you humped a reporter." I said, I was like, O.J. Simpson got a book. The fuck the deal is?
Yeah, great point.
You know?
Yeah, no
What's
kidding.
worse? What's worse, humping a report or killing somebody? What's worse?
Yeah, yeah, very.
Allegedly
Yes,
killing somebody.
yeah.
What's worse, Drake? What's worse?
No, no, you're spot on. You're completely right. Yeah, murder is one of the worst things imaginable. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think they were just hating, you know. But I've been told that the book is really good. So what the guy that was helping me do everything said, he told me when I first told him I had a book, he thought it was an autobiography,
Mm.
and I was like, no, it's like a how to do. It's like MMA for dummies, you know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, that's great, you know, and everything. But no, he said, now to release this, I want you to do an autobiography. So I'm trying to get that written right
Mm.
now,
Okay.
and we only like on the first chapter. That's deemed to be tougher than I thought,
Yeah.
and it's bringing back a lot of old memories because I didn't have like a good upbringing and stuff. And but the book that I wrote for MMA, I wrote it myself. I did everything myself. I paid somebody to edit it for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's meant to be like a manual where you can put it in your gym bag and you can take it to the gym and you can write
Okay.
notes and you can check off the things that you got. Well, find a good team, check. Find a
Oh,
good manager,
cool.
check. It's meant to be a manual on how to,
Right. Like a guide. Yeah.
yeah, like a guide.
All right. Yeah, that's
I don't think
awesome.
about putting some. I don't think about putting some pop ups in there. So you turn the
Okay.
page and boom, a fist come out and
Yeah.
knock your
Whoa.
ass out if you fuck up. You say, turn this page when you fuck up, and you turn the page, boom, my
Yeah.
fist come up and knock a motherfucker out. What you think? Is that a good
Perfect.
idea? I'll be knocking out my customers, and that's probably not a good idea,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, it could be some lawsuits. Unless you
Oh
put
yeah,
the
yeah.
disclaimer at the beginning, we
Oh
are not
yeah, yeah,
responsible for any damages the book might cause you.
yeah. You all right, Drake? You're a
Hey,
genius.
I'm
You all
trying. I'm
right?
trying. I'm here to help. But all right, Rampage. I'll let you get on with your Wednesday, man. I know you're a busy guy. I appreciate you taking some
Yeah.
time for me. Always great getting to catch up. First time, but to watch you fight, all that good stuff, man. I'll be tuning in. Wish you the best of luck. Not that you need it, but just appreciate it. Thanks, man. I hope you have a great rest
Thank
of your
you.
day.
Thank you for a great interview. Some people be boring, but you brought it. You brought it. You the man. Looking
Yeah.
forward to doing many more with you, brother.
All right, Rampage. Until then, have a good one.